The conference room had fallen into an uncomfortable silence. 12 interpreters had already tried and failed. Some wiped sweat from their foreheads, others shook their heads in defeat. The foreign client stared at the company executives with growing impatience, their words flowing rapidly in languages that no one in the room seemed able to untangle. The meeting that could save the company was slipping away minute by minute. And just outside that room, pushing a quiet cleaning cart along the hallway, a tired single father named Rafael Moreno paused as he overheard the chaos inside. Before we continue, if you believe that kindness and second chances can change someone's life, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Whisper Tales 3. Your support helps these powerful stories reach more hearts around the world. Rafael was the kind of man people rarely noticed. Every morning before sunrise, he walked his 8-year-old daughter Sofia to school, kissing her forehead and promising that one day things would be better. Then he rode 2 buses across the city to reach the towering glass office building where he worked as a cleaner. His uniform was always neat, though worn from years of use. His eyes held the quiet exhaustion of someone who carried responsibilities far heavier than the mop he pushed down the polished floors. Life had not been kind to Rafael. Years earlier, he had come to the country chasing opportunity, but tragedy had cut his dreams short. Sofia's mother had passed away suddenly, leaving Rafael to raise their little girl alone. With no family nearby and limited official qualifications, he accepted the only job he could find, cleaning offices after hours. Yet what no one in that building knew was that Rafael had spent most of his childhood moving between countries. His father had been a traveling mechanic who worked wherever ships needed repair, and Rafael grew up surrounded by languages from every corner of the world. While other children played, he listened. He absorbed words like a sponge, Spanish from his mother, Portuguese from neighbors, French from sailors, Mandarin from traders, Arabic from shopkeepers, German from engineers, and more. Languages became his quiet companions during lonely nights. But survival had pushed those talents into the background. Nobody asked a cleaner how many languages he spoke. That morning, however, something unusual was happening on the 22nd floor. Important investors from several countries had arrived to finalize a deal worth millions. The company had hired professional interpreters, confident everything would go smoothly. Yet one by one, the interpreters struggled. The investors spoke in rapid combinations of Mandarin, Arabic, French, and German. Some used regional dialects. Others switched languages mid-sentence. Confusion grew. Frustration spread like smoke in the room. Rafael stood outside the half-open door, holding his cart still. His ears instinctively followed the rhythm of the voices inside. His mind began translating automatically, almost without effort. The meaning of their concerns became clear to him. They weren't just negotiating numbers, they were worried about trust, about reliability, about whether the company understood their cultural expectations. Inside the room, the company's CEO, Adrian Caldwell, felt the meeting collapsing. Sweat dotted his collar. Months of preparation were unraveling in front of his eyes. The final interpreter had just admitted defeat. And then something unexpected happened. The quiet cleaner stepped forward. Rafael's heart pounded as he gently knocked on the door. For a moment everyone looked at him with confusion. He stood there in his blue janitor uniform, gripping the handle of his cleaning cart like it was the only thing holding him steady. He knew this could cost him his job, but something inside him refused to stay silent. He carefully explained that he might be able to help. At first, some people in the room exchanged skeptical glances. A cleaner offering to interpret an international business meeting sounded absurd. But Adrian Caldwell was desperate. With nothing left to lose, he gave Rafael a single chance. What happened next left the entire room stunned. Rafael began speaking calmly, switching languages with remarkable precision. Mandarin flowed into French, French into Arabic, Arabic into German. His voice carried confidence and warmth, not just translating words but explaining cultural meaning behind them. The investors' expressions slowly shifted from frustration to surprise, and then to respect. Questions that had confused professionals suddenly found clear answers. Misunderstandings dissolved. The room, which had felt tense moments earlier, now buzzed with renewed energy. For nearly an hour, Rafael guided the conversation like a quiet bridge connecting distant worlds. Adrian Caldwell watched in disbelief. The man mopping his floors every night was effortlessly doing what 12 highly paid interpreters could not. By the time the meeting ended, the investors were smiling. Contracts were signed. Hands were shaken. What had seemed like a disaster had transformed into success. But the most powerful moment came afterward. As the room emptied and sunlight poured through the tall windows, Adrian approached Rafael slowly. For the first time, he truly looked at the man standing before him, not as a cleaner, but as someone whose hidden strength had saved the company. Rafael looked nervous, almost ready to apologize. Instead, Adrian thanked him. Over the following weeks, Rafael's life changed in ways he had never imagined. The company offered him training, a permanent position in international communications, and flexible hours so he could continue caring for Sophia. Colleagues who once walked past him without a glance now greeted him with respect. But the biggest change came at home. One bright afternoon, Rafael picked Sophia up from school earlier than usual. They sat together in a small park, sunlight dancing through the trees. He told her that their struggles were beginning to fade, that sometimes life hides miracles in ordinary moments. Sophia hugged him tightly, proud of the father who had never stopped trying. Because the truth was simple yet powerful, talent often hides in the most unexpected places, waiting for someone to notice. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Whisper Tales 3 so more people can hear stories about hope, resilience, and second chances. And before we reach the final line, here's a special request. Comment the word hope if you believe that every person deserves a chance to be seen for who they truly are. The world may overlook quiet people like Rafael Moreno, but sometimes the quietest voices carry the most extraordinary stories. And on that bright daytime morning, in a glass tower filled with powerful executives, it wasn't status or titles that saved the day, it was the humble courage of a father who simply refused to let his hidden gift remain unheard.